Good morning, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Like over too far at my desk. Thank you, Elena. Let me make sure I have this set to the right thing. 1 second. This last time I wrote one thing and had the other. Okay, so it says subscribers. It's set to subscribers. And the screen says subscribers. Okay, that's a good start. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna try and do quick answers for all these because I know there's probably gonna be more people than the members' readings in here. So I'm gonna try and do a little quicker. Let me go back up to 1 o'clock. Hold on 1 second. Let me tell Gavin I started. Okay. What is in store for me for the next month? What is in store for the next month? Something you're waiting for being delayed because something is holding it back a bit. That feels really loud. Something that you're waiting for held back a little bit, but it's almost like waiting for the issue to pass. So it's not a punishment. It's just divine timing is how that feels. What stops Pasha from texting me first? I'm trying to prevent you from asking a question that I don't think you'll like the answer to. Yeah, quite literally. I'm trying to not give you the opportunity to ask it so that I don't have to feel obligated to answer it. What do you see for me this year? It's like a shedding. It's like I'm realizing in which ways I'm falling short of the celebration because of other people's projections holding me back. So I focus on rebalancing. It feels like this is the year of making very not selfish decisions, but decisions that are clear you're putting your needs first. What is in store for me this month? What is in store for you this month? It's like a change in plans in something that you've been working towards so that you can speed up the pace by reconnecting the balance. That's not how I meant to say that, but reconnecting the balance. It's like two sides of something are not connected. You need to find the connection to move forward. So it's like you're finding where the disconnect is between maybe like effort and consistency, or what you have in your mind versus what you're doing externally. You're finding the connection. Will the IV word work for improving my health? It's like it leads you to more answers is how this feels. It alone, this is like feeling disappointment or like being like, that's not what I really wanted to happen. The moon is like, it would almost be if this creates a drop in pressure and then something else rises to the surface. So it's like it's showing you where else the issue is. So technically it's giving you the opportunity to correct it, if that makes sense. But it alone is not correcting it. There's something else that's going to be needed is how that feels. Congratulations. I found out I'm going to be a grandma. Twins and boy-girl prediction. Card for twins. Lovers in reverse. I feel like that's kind of direct. No twins. Boy or girl? Can we get a confirmation, boy or girl? Not getting confirmation boy or girl. I don't always get gender. I'm not always given that for some reason. But I do get healthy. I do get healthy with the tower in reverse. There may be a need to kind of, maybe it's like earlier bed rest or something like that. It's like there's some kind of precaution followed and then everyone's healthy. Will we have to pay USB back? Will we have to pay USB back? I feel like at least to some extent, yes. There may be some kind of compromise here. It's like we take our foot off we have our foot on the gas to make you pay a lot, and then we take our foot off the gas a little bit. So there may be a wiggle room for compromise. But with the Three of Swords coming out first, I tend to believe yes, at least to some extent. Messages from my spiritual team with a token. A timer thing. Number 39. Timer. It feels like you're getting ready to go into some kind of temporary hermit mode in order to heal something that comes to the surface. Almost like it hits me quick out of nowhere. This kind of feels like a weekend. Like I give myself the weekend to recoup and then I'm back on my feet. This kind of just feels like a heads up of it coming. Will there be any changes for me next year? Any changes for me next year? I want to word this as something that you've maybe been putting off dealing with a little bit. It's like time to deal with it now. And that creates the space for positive change because this is no longer being taken up by like the what if or when will this erupt type of thing. It feels like an opportunity to create the path instead of settling for the path. Message from my guides. That just caught my attention. Encore by Jay-Z and Linkin Park is the song. Excuse me. It just said, what the HE double hockey sticks are you waiting for? There's some kind of opportunity here to build, and you're going to soon get clarity on what choice to make that you're not making yet that will help you like tunnel vision in on the right target here. So trust what comes inspiration wise over the next month or two. It leads to something bigger, like a what's that? Like a canal that leads to like a bigger river type of thing. You need to get in the canal to go to the river. Where should I put my focus for this next year? Increasing your confidence in your ability to come up with creative solutions to get out of where there's stagnancy. Almost like there's this ability to do slow and steady wins the race, but you need faster movement. But once you can kind of surrender to the slow and steady wins the race and start to take steps, even though it's not leaps, you start to recognize the progress. And it feels like that is the creative solution. You just need to be confident in your ability to maintain the pace. Do I have a parasite infection and do I need to do a heavy metal detox? Do I have a parasite infection? Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it's like something working against you. Page of Pentacles in reverse. So something that's unseen. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Something that's disconnected. This to me kind of reads like, and it could be, it's either saying check hormone levels first before doing this to make sure it's safe for you. I don't know, like some kind of test to make sure that that's in alignment before doing the detox. Or if you're already aware of some kind of hormonal thing, then ask your doctor if the detox is safe to do. I do feel like it's heading in that direction, especially with like the different ones in the corners here. But it's like there's something that you want to make sure it's safe for you first. And it feels like it relates to hormones. Or it could be whatever symptoms you're experiencing are related to hormones and not necessarily the parasites, whichever way that resonates for you. Will my friend Jim's cancer return? What is the likelihood of Jim's cancer returning? I feel like there's going to be signs that come in where he will end up needing to go back in with the expectation of there being an issue, and I do feel like there will be an issue, but it's almost like um either more quickly treated or like responds better to treatment than the first time. So I do feel like there's something that's going to come back up, but it's almost like we're able to get through that. We're able to get through that darkness because now I know what to do. It's not my first rodeo. I feel like it's going to come back up, but he's going to beat it. I almost feel like when it comes back up, it's easier than the first time, which I feel like is backwards because I feel like isn't it normally the opposite? It's normally harder. I feel like it's easier to manage when it comes back up. Maybe it's like not as much or not as concentrated or something. Any messages from my spirit team? Any messages from my spirit team? The parts that are harder to talk about are just as important. And I feel a need to kind of keep that cryptic because I feel like you know exactly what it means. The parts that are harder to talk about are the parts that are just as important. That feels to be some kind of key of sorts. Oh, positive influence is the token. What does my future husband look like? What can we know about your future husband? Kind of gives me the energy of how do I word this? Like someone who would be in like a Jeep commercial. Like I'm rugged, but I'm clean and well put together, but there's that ruggedness to me. So maybe like someone who works in like a trade labor type of thing, or like I work with my hands, but I'm rough around the edges, but also well put together is how I word that. I don't look like what I've been through, but you can see the wisdom. What does 2025 hold in store for me? And a song from my mother. Oh, the Empress. One second. Don't Worry Baby by the Beach Boys, and it says Shut Down Volume 2. There's a need for patience right now. What does 2025 hold in store for me? It's like your mom is saying there's a need for patience so that everything can unfold in a way that you'll understand or in a way that you'll feel ready for. It feels like there's this desire to rush, but a need to pace yourself. It feels like 2025 is like this slow unfolding of like a lotus flower is the reference I'm getting. Go back to the other playlist 1 second. Okay. Any message for me for the next month? Stand by Rascal Flatts is the song for the next month. Kind of gives like cutting the cord with something from 2024. It's like there's something that needs to stay where it's at and not come with you into this new beginning. And it feels like that may prove to be difficult for a moment. So advice for the next month is to cut ties with what you wouldn't want to expand in this next year. So if it's a little stress and you can step away from it, take it off your plate, do it, or expect it to expand. There may be some discomfort, but it feels like it's like freedom too. Like I'm uncomfortable, but I'm free. Any messages from Julie in a song? Any messages from Julie? You're being given the opportunity to show yourself what you're made of right now. And you don't think you're doing a good job, but you'll look back on what you went through and look. See how she's like looking back at these scenes, but looking down at the pentacle. It's like on the other end of making it through what you're going through right now, you're going to finally remember your worth or your value. Head Start by Lucidius. And it feels like there's some karma coming to someone who didn't want to see you end up in that Queen of Pentacles chair. Will my artwork be successful? Will my artwork be successful? Feels like there's a need to shift perspective in something so that it can expand or mature to the fullest extent. That can be networking. That can be maybe like collaborations, depending on what you do. Maybe it's like a behind the scenes thing. It's like something you're not doing now will help it get to that road of success that you want. Will my financial luck continue? Will my financial luck continue? It feels like the momentum slows down. That's not to say it can't speed back up, but it feels like there's something you have to deal with that maybe takes some of those funds. So that could be an investment of sorts. Like I'm taking this to invest here. It's not to say it's going to turn in a bad direction, but it feels like the forward momentum is going to need to be reignited. Is there any messages to me from my grandson who passed? Messages from your grandson. I feel like it's like a second opportunity to say goodbye. Maybe the goodbye was short or unexpected or something like that. There's this feeling of like him offering you the goodbye that you feel like you were stripped of in some way. Let me get a song. Flying Without Wings by Ruben Studdard is the song. Flying Without Wings. I feel like there's something coming that's going to feel like a goodbye that's going to help kind of free a piece of your mind that felt anchored down. Let me go to this list. What is Boone's energy towards me today? What is Boone's energy towards you today? There's like some avoidance here. I feel like stepping forward would cause either me to be at war with myself or us to be at war with one another. I guess I'd say if I had to simplify it, I'm avoiding you. Or I'm avoiding something that I feel connects to you that could throw me off balance. I don't know how I'm going to handle this if it comes up is how I would word that. What's on the bottom of the deck? Page of Cups in reverse. I don't have the emotional maturity to handle this right now. If that makes sense. Like I don't have the right words to help externally explain what I'm internally feeling. Feels to be their energy. Will I ever get married? Find someone lonely over the holidays. Will you ever get married / find someone? This is someone eventually coming in, but only after this is addressed. It feels with the Hierophant and Page of Pentacles reversed like there's this subconscious belief that you're just going to get left. And it feels like there's this fear of letting yourself be supported by the other person because you fear that they're just going to let you down or leave you. And it feels like the wound that is triggering is what this is representing needs to be healed before that person comes in. because we attract what we believe we are. And right now you believe that you're just going to get left, and your guides are like, no, we don't want that lesson. Let's not do that. Let's heal first, so we attract someone who's not going to leave instead of someone who reinforces that belief, so we have the opportunity to heal it. So yes, eventually, but that wound needs to be addressed first. That's what's holding it back. Any messages from loved ones or spirit guides? I'm going to go back to the other list after this one. Any messages from loved ones or spirit guides? Feels like this is a masculine energy and saying, look for the signs that things are going to start to get easier. And if this is a feminine energy, which I feel like it's either a masculine energy saying that or a feminine energy saying to lean on that man that you can trust that's in your life to help you, because you may be cutting off the receiving energy. You're used to give. So it's like things are going to start to ease up. Look for the signs of that, because you're already getting signs about that. Something specifically that was imbalanced, you're getting the opportunity to put it back into balance. All right, where was I? Artwork, finances. Oh, there we go. Will Ash get a full-time opportunity? Will Ash get a full-time opportunity? I feel like not at this time. Something seems to be delaying that she's not seeing it. So it doesn't feel like it's coming from her. Not that it's not possible, but it feels like it's not happening right now with the Knight and King in reverse. Yes, thank you, Lena. Everyone, if you could please put questions in caps, it's a little easier to find. Because I'm going to start moving a little bit quicker, a little scrolly, because I'm only at 104 right now and it's 120. Will I make the correct decision if I quit my job? Will I find another one? Don't do it yet. Not that you won't find another one, and not that it's not the right decision. I feel like it is the right decision, because there's you don't like going there every day. I feel like that's the case, and I feel like that's only going to continue to increase, but I feel like you need to find something else before you leave to continue to avoid this tower. It may take longer than you expect to find something else. That may be this, because this is in reverse, being held back a little bit. I would say yes, leave, but not until you find something else. And when you find something else, you're going to see that you're making the right decision, because you're going to find that you'll not hate that environment as much. I misplaced my ring on my trip. Any clues to where I dropped it? Is it still nearby, or will I ever find it? What can we know about your ring's current location based off of your trip? Disconnect quick. I feel like you left it somewhere when you were leaving or packing up to leave. I'm going quick. I'm kind of in a rush. I'm wondering if maybe you waited till last minute to repack certain things to leave. And it feels like in the doing that, is it still there, or is it somewhere you have it? Feels like it never left there. This would be you traveling and it's not with you. It feels like you dropped it wherever you were packing at. I'm going quick. Maybe I'm not thinking, or maybe my hands pulled or something like that. And it feels like it's wherever that was, but it feels like it's still there, not with you. When will R get a job? When will R get a job? There's something R is not seeing that's keeping this from happening. I'm wondering if it's like a resume needing, like, for example, maybe it's like there's a red flag in the resume that R's not seeing, but the employers are. It's like something like that that's like a quick fix or an easy fix that will help it happen sooner. I feel like right now things are stalled for at least 6 to 7 months, but I feel like it could happen as quickly as a month if that factor is fixed. It feels like the resume, or maybe it's like I don't know, depending on the job, maybe it's like a reference that isn't really helping type of thing, or maybe is hurting in some way. Will we finally get what our father wanted us to have when he passed? Yeah, but there's some, I feel like yes in the end, but there's some like extreme slowness to it. It's like there's extra steps, like there's 10 extra steps to get this to happen, and it happens very slowly. It feels like something's on the hook and has to be reeled in, and it's going to take time, but yes. On track with podcast planning and ideas, bridging creativity, symbolism, and visual tactical components to supplement the educational. Oh, okay. That sounds good. That's, yeah, putting down the burden. On track, planning ideas. Yes, but there's also something else that needs to be brought in. Creativity, symbolism, visual tactile components. Is there maybe like an interview type segment, or like something involving a collaboration? It feels like, yes, you're in the right track for the new beginning, but there's something that could make it happen even more expansively. My mother passed 12/23. I'm so sorry. Can you tell me if she found her mother and if she is okay? Well, the song that was already playing was All My Friends by Dermont Kennedy, which is funny because that was playing before you asked. And it's 1:25 right now, which is Christmas. It's like she was greeted wherever you all went for Christmas. It's like that's the kind of greeting that she got when she got over there. Like it was like almost like Christmas came 2 days early in a way, with the way that she was greeted. Like not like I'm happy to leave you behind, but like when I get there, I'm filled with love and family and support. My perspective shifted about a fear that I privately held. I feel like maybe it's a fear of dying or a fear of being alone or something like that. It's like I feared this more than I let on, but my perspective has changed because I was met with love. The reference I'm getting in my mind is like walking into like a dining room that has like a table, and like the whole dining room is just the table, right? And it's like there's like a big group or a big family there. That's kind of what I'm getting. Any messages from my dad? Does he know how sick I am? Any messages from your dad? I mean, he very much wishes he could be there for you. It's like, I see how you're going through this on your own, and how if I could be there to offer you my support, I feel like it would really help. I feel like the message is to surrender to, like, as hard as easier said than done, right? But there's a need to like know that things are unfolding in a way that it's like unfolding in this way so you can handle it. So it's not all happening at once, even though it feels like it's all happening at once. There's this feeling of like, trust the periods where you don't know what action to take, and trust that the action is being revealed to you in the appropriate timing. But yes, I feel like he very much wishes he could help you, because I don't know if it feels to you like you just like his support would be different than anyone else's, or if there's no support and he's like, I would love to support you type of thing. What do I focus on? What do I focus on? self-limiting or self-limiting belief or self-sabotaging behavior. It's like you're on autopilot and don't see that you're doing it because it's what was taught to you. So you don't really see how this is self-sabotage, but it's holding you back from taking some kind of step forward. And it feels like addressing that kind of alleviates this like impulsivity or feeling like you want to run from yourself in some ways. Doctor is trying to figure out why I'm not feeling well. Any insight of what it could be? What can we know? The Fool in reverse, lack of flow, Hierophant in reverse. Lack of flow, Hierophant in reverse is like the head, like the higher knowledge. Almost like something miss signaling, like the body not reading a signal correctly. Death in reverse. The body not doing what it's supposed to do in one area because it's not reading the signals properly. The death in reverse, the change would fix it. I don't know how to word this other than like a misfiring of some kind of signal, but it feels like, I don't know, almost like if the brain was sending signals down, but then there was a pinched nerve, so the signals weren't going all the way out to the body. I don't think it's like a literal pinched nerve, though. It's like a disruption and flow of information that it feels like once it's corrected, everything flows back in order again. Hopefully that makes sense. Will my health get better next year? I'm going to go to the other list in 1 second. Will my health get better next year? It's like maybe getting hard answers that allow you to figure out how you can get better so that when you figure out the problem, you can select the right solution type of thing. There's the opportunity to get better, but there's need to address this first. And it feels like there's a need, almost like there's a need to heed advice that you may be resistant to heeding when it comes to medical professionals. But I would say to listen to them to a T, even if it seems like it's not helping immediately. It may be something that needs to develop over time type of thing in terms of their advice. Will my family's estrangement improve? Will it improve? Not quickly, no. And it feels like it's like kind of stemming from one person. It's like maybe one person is fueling other people's fires and keeping them hyped up about it. Or maybe it's like people don't know how to proceed because proceeding would hurt the one person and they don't know how to like navigate that water type of thing. What does it need? Almost like needing to strategize behind the scenes with two people who can be leaders in the situation and then kind of like have them lead everybody else. It feels like that. Feels like people are dancing on eggshells because of one person or to protect one person. Well, my sister's ex-husband agreed to give her the money so that she doesn't have to return to court. Will he agree to give the money? I don't think so, no. This is like, oh, you want to threaten to take me to court? Watch me find a way to use court against you to frustrate you because I want to be immature about it. I'm not making that choice. I'm trying to keep it feels like a control thing more than the money. I mean, obviously, maybe the money too, but it feels like a control thing. Should I take Laura's class or will I regret it? Not sure her methods will work better for me or do it my own way. Should you take Laura's class over doing it your own way? Should you take Laura's class? Doing it your own way. It's confusing. It may teach you something that you don't know yet, but you could also probably learn that thing on your own because it feels like this way makes you doubt yourself. Or maybe it's like when I'm actively doing what I do, now I'm going back and forth thinking, should I be doing it this way or that way? And I'm having this analysis paralysis type of thing. And it's decreasing the confidence that I had before. It's interesting because I feel like you'll learn something, but you could also teach yourself that something. Because there's something about this that dilutes your confidence a little bit. It's still there, but it's not as concentrated, if that makes sense. I would say whatever it is, try and see if there's a way to teach it to yourself first, because it feels like you kind of have like a unique thing going on, and this makes it more generic or something, for example. Oh yeah, I forgot this list. 1 second. Thank you. Let me pull one of these for you. There we go. If you always think your happiness is somewhere else, it will never be where you are. Make a pact with yourself to have some kind of code word whenever you are like not in the moment enough. So like maybe you'll hear it in conversation. Maybe it's like the word yellow and you happen to look at something yellow. Make a code word with your spirit team to bring you back to the present moment. That's where you'll find what needs to change this year. Any clues about where to look for my life partner? Where can you look for your life partner? Somewhere where you're working on yourself or pouring into yourself to overcome some kind of fear or to get stronger, wiser. And it feels like somewhere you wouldn't expect. I'm just wondering if it's like the gym or like a library or something like that. It feels like one of those type of encounters where it's like, oh, this isn't where I was looking for someone, but I happened to stumble upon this person. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too. One of these for you. People will criticize your message, then repackage and sell it. Keep an active ear and be mindful for snakes in the grass. Be mindful of who you're sharing your plans with right now. Sometimes they can intentionally or unintentionally stop the forward momentum. So keep the plans close to the chest. What is my spirit journey? Last one, then I'm going to go to the other list. What is my spirit journey? I'm going to do a couple and then I'm going to head back to this list because there's more. What is my spirit journey? Right now, it's about working through this throat chakra, like whatever wounds you endured that affected your throat chakra. Now it's time to face the wounds. So is that a self-worth? Is that a fear of failure? Addressing the wounds is what is in focus for you right now so that you can move forward. Let me do this one, then go to the other list. Who put witchcraft on my mom? Did they put for me and my kids as well? What's the reason for it and where will it end? Okay, who put witchcraft for my mom? What is the description of the person who put witchcraft on your... Oh, jealousy. Oh, big jealousy. Who put witchcraft on your mom? This is like, I'm jealous of the way that your mom is seen. I'm jealous of the way that people speak to your mom or view your mom or respect your mom. And I start to I start to develop this rage because that triggers a wound inside of me, and then I view your mom as the trigger instead of my wound that's being triggered. Yeah, I'm discovering that. It's weird too because I'm almost wondering if this is someone who This House by Tom McDonald. Did they put it for me and my kids as well? Hold on, let me answer that really quick because the song. I feel like yes. It's like it feels like family attacking family, to be honest with you. It's like the whole house. Like I'm trying to get to the house because of this jealousy or this envy that has built up over time. I'm trying to make it so that I feel like your mom is likely the target. That feels to be where the most energy is at. It's like I'm trying to make it so that person is not happy, but I need to try and affect everyone around them so that they can't re-uplift that person. And that person feels like they can't fix things for others, as in your mom. So it's like this energy, it kind of feels generational, to be honest with you. Um It's like someone had to take a big risk to do this, though, because it's almost like in doing this, how do I explain that? It's like in order to do this, I have to uncloak myself, right? And it's like that could have made your mom catch on to certain things, but they knew also how to throw stones and hide their hands very well. So who put witchcraft on your mom? Give me a one card description in a way that you would know. The Hermit in reverse, extreme isolation. Who was around your mom that could have been jealous and envious, that around the time you started to notice the witchcraft, that person was not as close anymore, or maybe even literally hiding? They put it for me and my kids as well. I'm going to say yes. Yes. There's the house, Tom McDonald house. This is everyone under the roof. I'm trying to lasso you all in together type of thing. What's the reason for it? Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. That's the reason for it. It feels like it's a generational thing, but it feels like it right now it's hurt people, and it's not something your mom did. It just feels like, why do you get to have nice things and I don't? Why do you get to have love and I don't? And I'm around you, you trigger me, and then I spend time trying to fight you instead of heal the wound that's being triggered. That's how that feels. Thank you for the super chat. Oh wait, when will it end? And then I'm going to go back to the other list. When will it end? It's going into 2025. I feel like it starts to lessen between the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2028 is the time frame that I'm getting there. All right, where was I? Laura's class. Message from my dad, Roger. That one really wanted to flip over, and it was communication. There's something you're fighting with yourself about, and it kind of feels to me be like, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have done this before his passing. And there's the energy of like, quickly let it go. Don't let it burden you for a second longer. It feels like it's holding you back from forgiving yourself. Hearing token. It's a bird. I don't know what kind of bird though. Hold on one second. Number one. Interesting. A crow, spirit animal, guardian, messenger of the spirit realm. I said what I said. Let it go. That's funny. I said what I said. It's time to let it go. It's time to unburden yourself. I'm going to turn super chats off next time I go to that list, just so everyone knows. Will my medical insurance be approved soon? Will it be approved soon? It's like maybe there's like something else they need, or something that maybe was like signed in the wrong spot, or maybe something that needs a follow-up. It feels like there's something else that is needed, and then it happens quickly. So not as quickly as you'd like. There's one other step that's needed, and then after that step it happens quickly. My son has entered into a new relationship. How do you see and or feel it to go? How will your son's relationship go? There's like a learning curve here that helps them both grow. So either like I need to learn how to love myself better to love you the way you deserve, or I need to learn to communicate in the way that you need me to communicate, and vice versa. It's like they grow together. So it does feel like there's some difficulty overcoming certain things, but then that leads to the opportunity for things to go well if they continue to grow together instead of allow that to make them grow apart. What does the universe see for the new year? You're healing and getting your confidence back because you mastered some kind of emotion. What emotion? Balance. You mastered balance. You mastered being okay with sometimes not being okay and letting that be okay. It's like now you're not as hard on yourself in terms of internal dialogue when you have rough moments, and it feels like that's offering you the opportunity to heal and move forward. Random reading. What do you need to know? There's a belief that you're being called to re-examine. Not that you have to change your beliefs, but there's a need to make sure the beliefs that you have are right for you on this side of your healing. It's almost like now that you're more confident, what avenues of thought can you walk down more boldly, is how I would word that. Will my brother ever find love? He is 53 and birthday is same day as mine. Oh, that's cool. Capricorn. A Capricorn. A Capricorn with a betrayal wound. I am not shocked. There's a need to heal the betrayal wound. There's a need to heal feeling like I need to be in control of the situation and not let it naturally unfold. So after this is healed, which right now is the opportunity to heal that. So that's what's holding it off. Facing that and moving forward after that will align him with the right person. I just started a band at the age of 59 with my bandmate who is 19. Our band is D Rose. What is my higher self trying to tell me right now that'll make this transition more powerful and productive? I feel like there's some hesitancy in like addressing the age gap. It's like maybe there's like a like one thinks we should go this way, one this way. What are people going to say if we do this versus that? There's a need to like let it flow naturally. It's like you'll find your groove of a mix of like old and new, where like like, it feels like there's stress around what styles will be best accepted by the public because of the age. So there's a need to kind of find your footing, see what people want to see from you, see like allow it to unfold as it does without holding back because of you're going to find the right mix of it is what I would say there. And the 8 of Cups, I feel like there's something that you're back and forth about, like, should we involve this? Should we not? I feel like you should not. If there's something that you're questioning, that you're uncertain about, it's for a reason. Can I trust Tasha? Ooh. Can I trust Tasha? I mean, this is a card about innocence, right? But I feel like you're picking up on something, and that's why you're asking this. And I feel like what you're picking up on is a battle that person's having with themselves. Like, I'm dealing with something self-love test related, and I'm trying to heal from that. So if there's like this change in energy, or like you feel like this person has shifted, it's not you, it's them. I feel like that. I feel like yes. A song and messages from my guides on what to expect for 2025. Interesting. God's Plan by Drake is the song. You're losing something you thought you needed to show yourself that you never needed anything outside of you. Something is going to fall so that there's space made to build something stronger. So trust what falls away because it's giving you the opportunity to align with your magic. Message from my higher self. Message from my higher self. There's a need to trust yourself right now when it comes to what action you're intuitively being guided to take. It's like you're like, okay, I understand what my intuition is saying, but do I trust myself to do that? There's a need to, because you're ready for it. Is my dad at peace after his suicide? Is my dad at peace after his suicide? There's an acknowledgement here of how this decision has affected and hurt other people. And there's almost this energy of like, I couldn't be with myself anymore. Like I couldn't be in my own mind anymore. I had to escape it. I had to be independent of it. This is like extreme isolation and this is independence. So it's like I need to isolate away from myself. I need to get away from myself. I'm acknowledging how badly this hurt other people, but at the same time, I feel like I made the decision that I had to make. Obviously now with the perspective, there's this feeling of like, what I needed to do for me is overshadowed by how much I saw it hurt other people, but I couldn't have seen that at the time because of how much I was trying to escape my mind. So at peace now, yes, but also an acknowledgement of like, I'm really sorry that this hurt you in the way that it did. I never could have seen that coming because I was avoiding myself enough to face it. Let me go to this list. I'm also going to close super chats because I don't know how long Gavin's going to last. He's home until next week or Friday. He's home until Friday. What does January look like for me? What does January look like for Christine? A sigh of relief. finally things starting to move forward or open up, or like the work that you've already put in. So this is behind the other two. The work that you already put in starting to yield results, starting to bring progress. Raise Your Glass by Pink. Like, oh, raise your glass. Your husband is toasting you. Cheers to you for all the work you put in. Now it's finally going to start to pay off. That was direct. He's like, I want to be part of this message. Count me in. Should I research and reach out to people to interview now, or reach out to other platforms to collab, share my content? How successful could this get, and when? I feel so strongly about the content. Okay. So did you reach out to interview them now? No, not necessarily right off the bat. Oh, that came flying out too. Not necessarily right off the bat. I feel like that's more of like a get things up and rolling, and then maybe start to put feelers out. Like, oh, who do you got? Who would my watchers think that I could collaborate with that you'd be interested in seeing? And maybe kind of have them like tag them or something like that. It's like kind of have it coming from that direction, like so people feel a part of it. How successful could this get? You won't be disappointed by what you're showing to the world. I feel like there's a need to kind of get yourself a little bit established first, not right off the bat. That shouldn't be like part of the opening thing, but like, okay, here I am, build up a little bit of a crowd. What do you guys want to see, type of thing. My birthday is a week away today. Any messages for the new year? Happy birthday. Any messages for the new year? This year, try not being so hard on you're still a Capricorn, right? A week away. When does that end? Can't remember. I think you're still a Capricorn. No. Anyway, stop being so hard on yourself for not being exactly where you want to be right now, because you're right where you need to be to get to where you want to go. You needed to go collect all the bricks and all the cement so that you would have something to build with. So this year, try not being so hard on yourself for, I don't know, it's almost like you struggle to let yourself enjoy celebrating you, because you're like, but this and but that. And your guides are like, no, how about but we celebrate you this year, because you've been through a lot and now it's time to build. So let's rest before we build. I'm going to go back to the other list after this one if it pops up. Oh, wait, that's the same one. What did I just do? My birthday is next week, and my mom passed on my birthday 3 years ago. I'm sorry. I also struggle celebrating. Any advice? Any advice? Butterfly Kisses by Bob Carsley. Oh, butterfly kisses, but from mom in heaven. I mean, that's pretty direct. Butterfly kisses, but from mom in heaven. Any advice? Well, one, butterfly kisses from mom in heaven. That's this, like quite literally. And two, is there something you could do that would be like almost like silly, like for my inner child, or something really creative, or something really goofy, almost like it's hard to not laugh when you're being tickled, right? This is like tickling your inner child in a way that makes you almost like not be able to not enjoy it. It gets the cog out of the wheel. It's like this thought that when this happened back then, I'm never going to enjoy my birthday ever again, because it's always going to be trauma. But now with time passing, you have the opportunity to rewrite that narrative. So it feels like kind of doing something very lighthearted and silly that you can't not enjoy. It starts to shift things in the right direction. All right, back to this list. Will my show this January do well? What can we know about your show this January? You overcome whatever fear you're having that's keeping you fighting with yourself. I feel like yes, but there's a caveat. You always feel like you could be doing better. That's the only caveat. I feel like yes, it goes well. You overcome this fear that's keeping you at war with yourself here. You try and tell yourself this could have gone better and that could have gone better, but from the outside looking in, it went well. Will I get better over time? And a song. Outnumbered by Dermont Kennedy. Yes, you'll get better, but it feels like there's this energy of like everything caving in on you right now. Almost like I feel claustrophobic to life because life is like smushing in on me. It feels like it gets better, but it's going to take a little bit of time. I feel like within the next 8 months, you start to be able to take deeper breaths. I'll try and scroll down a little bit more on this because I am behind. Will I be able to graduate by December 2025? Will I be able to graduate by December 2025? Completion of a cycle. I feel like yes. The Page of Cups makes me feel like there may be something where you may fear it getting pushed back one semester. I don't know if this is like paperwork or something like that, but it feels like you end up working it out. So I feel like yes. Is my husband's dad sending him messages? He's sending him messages. I'm communicating. I'm actively communicating to you without words. So sending him messages, I feel like he's picking up on a lot of pattern recognition or a lot of like, I keep seeing this. I keep putting this keeps happening. I keep hearing people say this. Yeah, I feel like, yes, it is him. Did Rai hear what his mommy said to him in the hospital chair before he passed? Can we have a confirmation from Rai if he heard? Two of Swords in reverse, seeing things clearly. Queen of Pentacles. This gives me the energy of leaning down by your bedside or in the chair. Seeing clearly. Oh, wait, in the hospital chair. The mom holding the star. The blindfold coming off, seeing clearly. Give me a really direct confirmation. Angel. I would say big yes, absolutely. Will my financial or job situation change soon? Will my financial job situation change soon? I feel like, yeah, you're going to have the opportunity for finances to elevate, whether that's like an easier situation, a better opportunity. Right now, things are holding back. So I don't feel like as soon as you would like. Whatever your like goal date is right now, I would say add like 2 to 4 months to that. Oh. Do I have special abilities? Do I have special abilities? It feels like this is something that's active that you just need to change perspective into looking at it as that ability. This is the hand coming out of the cloud, but in reverse. So it's like you're not accepting it. You're accepting it. It's just you're not realizing that that's part of the abilities. Almost like if pattern recognition works in combination with like inner knowing to you or something like that. It's like there's a connection that needs to be made. So yes. Will the situation stressing me out subside this week or become a bigger issue? Are we going more towards it subsiding or becoming a bigger issue this week? Is it possible that none of them happens this week? It's almost like it's in a holding pattern. I would say the imbalance associated with it becomes bigger, but the issue doesn't necessarily become bigger. I feel like there's time. Things are going to unfold a little bit more slowly than what you're imagining. Will it ultimately be going towards subsiding or bigger issue? Because part of it is not becoming a bigger issue, it feels like things are able to be resolved more than they're able to be worsened. So, like, nothing really happens, but that's a good thing, if that makes sense. My youngest son has been searching for a full-time job in his city for a while. Any advice? What does he need to do? Is there this can either be needing to follow up, or this could be someone that he could talk to that could help him get his foot in the door. I'm always wondering if like there's some different form of networking, or if there's something he could do that maybe like a friend of his does just temporarily to get his foot in the door somewhere. Things can happen more quickly with some kind of important either follow-up or communication between him and another party. There's a faster solution is how I would word that. What do I need to work on spiritually? What do I need to work on spiritually? Mastering self-love as it pertains to shadow work. Almost like when certain shadows come up, you get really hard on yourself about like, how could I not see that? Or why did I let that happen? Or how long was I not aware of this type of thing? Not looking at it like that, looking at it as this went on for long as it needed to in order for me to be able to master the lesson. So I guess I'd say self-forgiveness if I had to narrow it down. Should I keep substitute teaching or find something else? Could you keep substitute teaching as opposed to finding something else? I feel like you know that you're kind of meant for more. I don't know if that's teaching instead of substitute teaching. I don't know if that's like specializing in something or like a different setting. I don't feel like you should stop substituting until you find the other thing, though. But I would say to start to put feelers out because it feels like you are not as fulfilled as you would like to be. Like you want to be making a bigger difference than you feel like you're making right now. And I feel like you should not sell yourself short of the opportunity to do that. But not until you find that. I don't think you should leave. Will I find it if I ask the right person, or will I be leaving my trip without the ring? Oh, you're still at the place. Oh, okay. Okay. That's good. Will I find it if I ask the right person? I feel like you can, yeah. That's a victory. Who do you need to ask? Lovers in reverse. Were you pack, or if you didn't leave yet, maybe it's unpacking. Was this somewhere that like someone could have not known it was yours specifically and taken it somewhere? I feel like there's potential to, but I feel like it's going to be difficult. But it's like someone may have put it somewhere and forgotten, or like took it to someone type of thing. Let me finish these. Oh, there's one. Okay, Danny. We eat lies when our hearts are hungry. Be mindful and vigilant. If your intuition or your gut feeling is telling you something is not the truth, kind of sit with that for a little bit and allow your mind to unpack what your body knows to be true. All right, where am I on here? Hey, Jody, feeling like I'm in a major funk lately. How can I get out of it? You're feeling where you are right now is making you fear that you're putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into something that's not actually the path that you're meant to be on, or not actually what's going to fulfill you. I feel like this is career related. This is like I'm getting antsy because I feel like I've outgrown my environment. It feels like that's where the funk is coming from. So either finding a way to find joy and fulfillment in it, or finding a path that would be aligned with that. Is my health going to improve? Is my health going to improve? I would say yes. Something quick, like it looks like nothing's happening, and then quickly something happens that leads to some kind of celebration. What do I need to let go of in 2025? What do I need to let go of? Whatever's blocking you from trying again at something that it just wasn't the right time for before, whether that's a lifestyle change, a career change, a connections change. It's like it wasn't time back then, and you developed this belief that like it's just not right for me, and it's preventing you from reigniting that spark, even though the spark is trying to be reignited. So maybe it's a fear of failure, maybe it's a fear of being late, maybe it's a fear of being seen. That's what needs to be let go of. Trying to see if there's anyone I didn't get. How long will I live where I am now? Do you see me living in another state towards the end of my life? How long will I live where I am now? I feel like you have the opportunity to go somewhere else, but end up staying. I feel like you end up staying where you are. Not that the opportunity won't be there, but I feel like ultimately you end up staying where you're at. Token for Gloria. It's an I with number 36. Get a card. Some kind of creative endeavor will actually also be very healing for you, and opening up of your third eye. So the third eye is like the visualization. So like as I start to see myself in action, I start to see bigger possibilities type of thing. Will I find out what my medical condition is? Will you get answers for what is going on? I feel like at first it's like a cutting down of like, okay, well, we try this and that's not the problem. Check that off the list. Okay, we try this, check that off the list. That's not the problem. I feel like it's that until eventually it's like, okay, well, it has to be this because there's nothing else on the list. So I feel like it's a process here. I do feel like eventually you're going to find out. Would that be fair to say? Yeah, I feel like eventually you're going to find out, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some effort. It's like a process of elimination, but it just so happens that the last one to be eliminated is the one that they needed to be looking for. Message for 2025. Message for 2025. Don't hold back in being the authority in certain conversations that require your emotional intelligence when you recognize that the other person is not as equipped in emotional intelligence. It's kind of like be in your bold era and take the lead and watch what that opens up for you. I feel like you already do that, but this is like now you're ready to do it confidently in a way that the other person can't help but recognize the wisdom that comes with that, if that makes sense. Has B betrayed my trust? And can I inform my son about her? Has B betrayed your trust? Has B betrayed your trust? Not intentionally. It's weird. It's like I did something that I'd rather you not see because now I'm realizing that you would think it's a bigger deal than I initially thought you would have felt it was. There's a difference of opinion between how you view this and how B views this. So you would view it as betraying trust where they either do or can convince themselves that it's not, if that makes sense. Can I inform my son about her? I would say you could communicate your perspective, but not try and force anyone to see it your way. It's something that'd be better if they saw it for themselves, type of thing. How are the gifts sent to my son and grandkids received? How are the gifts received? With joy and confusion. And then I said, what confusion? And I got 8 of Pentacles. So like, I'm happy, but I don't know how to move forward. I'm happy, but what do I say? Or I'm happy, but what does this mean? Or I'm happy, but maybe some hesitancy as well. But I feel like, well, it was a very appreciated thought put into it. Where can I find Loy? Will I find her? Where can I find Loy? One way. It's given like freight train, like one way quick, and then stationary in a house. One way quick and then stationary in a house. If this is a person, it could be that I'm hiding out at someone's house. If this is like a pet, it could be someone takes me into their house. Will I find her? I feel like it's going to be difficult. Not that you can't, but it feels like it's going to be difficult. And I'm almost wondering with that cloud, is there like a traceable element like ring cams or something that could help you trace steps perhaps? Why does my mom always gaslight me and favor my sister? Why does my mom always gaslight me and favor my sister? I don't like the role I played in your story at times, and it's easier for me to push you down so that you misremember certain things. It's kind of giving like maybe like was going through a harder time when you were a baby versus when your sister was a baby, and I have this subconscious like guilt about it or something like that, and it comes out in my communication with you subconsciously, but like directly to you. Will I ever get to talk to my birth mom? Will I ever get to talk to my birth mom? It feels like there's like a message sent and then there's time. So I don't know if you've found who this person is yet. Um, but this is like message sent. So if you haven't found who this person is yet, that would lead me to believe you at the least find who this person is. Do you end up communicating? I feel like eventually, yes. It's like a step process though. But I feel like over time it could lead to that, yes. But be patient with it because it feels like there's a message sent and then a delay of some sort. Would my person be willing to have an online date Friday or Saturday? I feel like that may be too last minute for this person. This is like star in reverse, something in private. I already have something planned. You're not going to be happy with my answer because I already have something that's going on type of thing. I feel like not, they might need more time in advance. Does my husband send me signs? Does my husband send me signs? Actively communicating through signs. I'm actively communicating through whatever method necessary. Let me get a song. The token goes with the song. Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. And he said the token goes with the song. A black cat. It's a black cat. Let me read what this says for that. Number 5. Campfire. Passion, excitement, center. Oh, this is the other one. But he probably wanted me to read this description. So black cat may have significance. And then number 5 in this one is passion, excitement, center of attention, campfire. Oh, black cat is like the spiritual messenger. My black cat is named Luna. The moon may be significant as well here. Anyway, yes. Yes, he does. I'm going to do about 5 more and then I have to hop off. Where will my career take me in 2025? Facing a fear that you don't necessarily feel ready to face, but when you face it, you increase your confidence. This feels like fear of being seen. So your career is taking you to a platform where you will be seen more. And then you get time to get comfortable with that. And then you start moving forward. Where's my relationship with Tim going? Where's your relationship with Tim going? It feels like there's something needs to be worked on here, and it's a matter of, are we going to allow this to be me and you versus the thing, or is it going to turn into me versus you? Outnumbered by Dermont Kennedy. It's like one person is dealing with a lot mentally right now, and it's like things are slowed down until that's dealt with, and then it feels like there's an opportunity to grow together or grow apart, and it's going to depend on communication. Will my best friend get pregnant the first IVF try? The first IVF try. I was going to say yes, and then that came up. I do see a pregnancy. This would be fast movement, but then there's a burden. Fast movement, burden. I feel like it's more likely the second time. I do see it happening, but I'm wondering if it's like there's like I feel like it probably is, and then I go in and it's not, or something like that. Like I feel like it's the second time. Not that it can't happen the first, so keep putting those intentions out there, but I feel like it's more likely the second time. Trying to see if there's anyone I did not get. Why do I feel so dizzy constantly? Why do I feel so dizzy? I'm wondering if it's like a hydration or nutrition element. It's almost like body's not getting its cup full with something that Knight of Pentacles is your responsibility to give it. It's causing this disconnect between your body and the functions. So either like hydration, nutrition, or like obviously I would go to a doctor, get it all checked, but I feel like it's going to go in the direction of like something your body needs more of, and or one of those like sensitivity tests where like some things your body's not liking it, but it's not really causing like a reaction. It's just causing like an internal reaction, if that makes sense. Whatever you're fearing as a worst case scenario, it's not that. I feel like you're thinking of something that maybe other people in your family had or something, and I feel like it's not that. I'm feeling called to say that for some reason. Any messages from my guardian angels? Any messages from my guardian angels? There's a need to stop and see what you already have that you could be using in a different way. It's like you're looking for something outside of you that needs to come from within that you already have the access to. And it feels like there's this some energy of getting ahead of yourself and needing to slow down and take inventory of what you already have that's available to use in terms of the problem that seems to be persistent. Should Jay tell his dad about the upcoming trip? Should Jay tell his dad? Is there a way to do it closer to the trip? Because it's like this energy of there's nothing really you can do, but are you going to be a negative Nancy about it, as in the dad, I guess? I would say wait a little bit closer to the trip if possible. If not, then yes, but I feel like waiting alleviates some kind of stressor or like annoyance. Mm. Should I stay where I am in my career, possible advancement, or apply to something different? Should you stay or apply to something different? I think if they're going to give you that advancement, then yes. But if it's like going and going and going and you're not getting that advancement, it's like you're meant for something bigger than what you're doing now. It could be the advancement, or it could be saying, okay, you're not going to give me this. I know I deserve it. I'm going to look elsewhere. So it feels like wherever the step up comes in first, I would say wait for the advancement, but not wait too long. How did my son's grandfather pass away? How did my son's grandfather pass away? Something coming back that I thought I'd put behind me that wasn't really ever gone. Something came back that I thought I put behind me that wasn't really ever gone. It almost feels like, trying to think of an example. Like if a wire is like kind of cut, but like when it's in certain positions, it still works. But then if it moves, it disconnects. It feels like that kind of effect, if that makes sense. Rome by Dermont Kennedy. Something big that was an issue in the past came back quickly. Will my autistic grandson do well in kindergarten? What can we know about his kindergarten experience? I feel like there's going to be a hurdle at first of like getting comfortable with it, almost like a what the heck is all this going on type of thing. Maybe a sense of overwhelm at first, and then I get used to it and I end up enjoying it. So I feel like, yes, after some kind of initial like, oh, this is a lot. What's going on here? I need to get used to this type of thing. Become a member. If you go to the, oh wait, hold on. Did I repost that? If you look I don't know if you could type it in. I made a video about it. I'll repost it on the main page though, because I made a video about how to do it on a phone. Will the meditation be popular and bring in clients? Will the meditation be popular and bring in clients? The change needed to help people rebalance out something associated with self-love. But will it be popular and help to bring in clients? Could you do something where it's like buy one, get one free code to give to a friend or something like that? I feel like that's the way that you bring in new clients. It itself does not, but has the potential to. So like if you purchase one, I give you this code that you can't use yourself, but you can send out to someone else and they can use. Feels like that's what would help. How will I meet my future husband? I'm going to do 2 more and then I have to hop off. I have to go check on Gavin. But I'm going to do a members live. I'm going to schedule it in a little bit. I think I'm going to do it on Friday. How will I meet my future husband? Feels like through another person, but not in a direct way, not like a setup way, more like I know you now because of this person, or I meet you because we're at something for this person type of thing. It's like my friend's not setting me up, but I meet you through someone that I know. Any messages for me? Last one, and then I have to hop off, everyone. Any messages for me? Be mindful about who you're giving too much information to so that it doesn't somehow stop your forward progress. Almost like if you get the feeling that you're saying too much, don't feel the need to have the last word. Yeah. The I forget what it is. It's like this thing where they did a study where people who talk more quietly, at times the room will silence to hear them, as opposed to the person who talks loud and people often drown them out. it's giving that. It's like people will be quiet to hear you. You don't need to raise your voice to make the point. Not literally raise your voice, but like your silence is your superpower here is kind of how that feels. All right, everyone, I have to go check on Gavin. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my mods. And thank you, everyone, for the super chats. I will talk to you all soon.